Today I am going to share some of my go-to tips for improving your photography game. A side note, please bear in mind that these are just very basic tips and mostly suitable for beginners and amateurs. I have compiled this list of tips based on all my experiences in the past 7 to 8 years of self-taught photography. So here we go. Gear doesn't matter. Well, sort of. It is true you don't need a good camera to take a good photo. You can take amazing shots with a camera on your smartphone, even if it is a cheap or mid-range smartphone with low specs. It's not about the camera, but how you use it that matters. And with smartphones now coming with so many great features, including multiple cameras and even raw capture formats, the lines between a DSLR and a mobile camera is getting thinner day by day. But this should not divert you from the fact that better cameras will enable you to take certain shots which would not be possible to take from a cheap camera, such as long exposure or wildlife photos which require very big lenses to get up close and personal with animals. If you have the money, do invest in better gear whenever possible. But that does not guarantee you to become a great photographer immediately. The Holy Trinity of Photography. Learn the basics of photography for a better understanding of it. In short, there are 3 vital elements for a photo to be taken by a DSLR mirrorless camera: aperture, shutter speed, ISO. Try playing around with the settings of the camera, see which settings yield a better result. I will be making a separate video regarding the 3 basic elements, so stay tuned for that. Composition matters in a photo. When framing a shot, remember that what you chose to frame in the shot determines the way your photo is portrayed. Try to focus on the subject in a way that is flattering. If there is a subject matter like a model, try placing that model in 1/3 of the frame with a clean and blurry background. It assures a good photo overall. Of course, not all photos are to be taken using the rule of third. Frame the shot which looks good. Try out different angles. You may be surprised with the result. Shoot raw, as much as you can. When shooting with a DSLR or mirrorless cameras, always try to use the RAW format instead of just JPG. It takes a lot more space, but yields better results when editing the photos. Of course, you don't need to shoot raw while taking casual group shots with friends or taking photos at a family function or at the graduation. Normal JPG would suffice there. Here, take a look at some photos shot raw and then the results after editing. What a difference, isn't it? Editing is more than just a tool. Consider greatly on your editing techniques. I, for example, spend more time on the computer or mobile editing my photos than on the camera taking a shot. Editing does not mean only Photoshop with crazy and over-the-top edits. It can be as simple as just adjusting the brightness of the image or correcting the white balance of the image. If given the tools to better your photos in some way, why not do it? I, for example, use Lightroom or Photoshop most of the time. But some free apps which you can use on your smartphone are PixArt, VSCO and Snapseed. There are so many tutorials out there which shows how to use those apps. Go ahead and check them out. Of course, some of you out there do not want to edit photos. There are basically 2 schools of thought regarding this. 1. Photos are not to be edited and are to be kept almost same as what it was shot on the camera. They are known as the purists. 2. There is a second school of thought which edits their photos to help the photos stand out from the crowd. It usually gains more views and looks great on your Instagram feed. I believe that it is up to the individual whether they want to edit their photos or not. To each his own, right? Auto mode on your camera. The auto mode on your DSLR is a feature which can help you in your initial years. Trust me, It is indeed a lifesaver in certain situations when there is hardly any time to manually set the settings for a shot, such as taking a fast shot of a moving bird or car out on the streets. By the time you set the settings manually, that moment may pass and you will miss the shot. Whereas using the auto mode with autofocus may get you that shot. You will hear a lot of photographers out there telling you to use the manual mode all the time, but I do not agree with it. Take time, and then slowly shift from the auto mode to manual mode to fine-tune your photos. Practice makes a man perfect. I don't know how to say this, but there is no shortcut to success. Practice, practice and practice some more. Over the years, I have taken thousands of photos, experimenting with new stuff or just trying to learn how to focus better or just how to frame a subject better and making it look more cinematic. Clicking the photos and then just practicing editing those photos late at night for hours on hours made me the photographer I am today. Now I am still learning and have a long way to be on the level of a professional photographer. Honestly, there are so many times I don't know what I am doing with a camera, but I trust my gut and usually I am satisfied with the results.
So there you go guys, those were 7 tips that I wanted to share with you. Do try to follow these steps if you want to step up your photography game. These tips have definitely helped me in my photography. If I can do it with no formal knowledge of the art, why can't you? Write down in the comments below what you thought about the tips. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.